You love your dog. That is not even a question. You feed him, you walk him, you buy him toys, you let him sleep on the couch. But there are things you do every single day, things that feel completely normal to you, that your dog experiences as deeply uncomfortable, confusing, or even threatening. Not because you are a bad owner, but because no one ever told you what those moments feel like from his side. After this video, you will never look at some of your daily habits the same way again. If you want to understand your dog on a deeper level and build a relationship based on real trust and communication, subscribe to this channel right now. This is where dog owners come to learn what their dogs have been trying to tell them all along, and finally start listening in the right way. You wrap your arms around your dog, pull him close, and hold him tight. To you, it is the purest expression of love. To him, it can feel like a trap. Dogs do not have arms. They cannot hug. In canine body language, placing a limb over another dog's body is a dominance signal, not an affectionate one. When you hug your dog, his instinct reads that pressure and that restriction of movement as a potential threat. Most dogs tolerate hugs because they trust you, not because they enjoy them. Watch closely next time. If he turns his head away, licks his lips, or goes completely still, he is not relaxed. He is enduring. And there is a significant difference between a dog who is comfortable and a dog who has simply learned to accept something he cannot escape. Eye contact between humans is a sign of confidence, connection, and honesty. But in the animal world, a prolonged direct stare from a stranger or even from someone familiar in the wrong context is a challenge. It signals tension, dominance, or the beginning of a confrontation. When you hold intense eye contact with your dog without the context of an established calm bond, you may be sending a message you never intended to send. Dogs who look away, blink slowly, or lower their head during prolonged staring are showing appeasement signals. They are trying to de-escalate something they perceive as pressure. The loving gaze you share during quiet, connected moments is completely different from the intense, unbroken stare that makes his nervous system go on alert. Have you ever noticed your dog looking away or acting strange when you stare at him for too long? Comment below with his name and what he usually does in that moment. You might be surprised by how many owners have seen this without ever understanding what it meant. Your dog does not understand every word you say, but he understands everything about how you say it. The tone, the rhythm, the volume, and the emotional charge behind your voice are the real message he receives. When you speak to him in a sharp, inconsistent, or emotionally unpredictable way, his nervous system responds before his brain even processes the words. He does not know if you are angry, scared, or playing. That ambiguity creates anxiety. Dogs thrive on consistency and emotional predictability. A calm, steady voice tells him the environment is safe. An erratic or tense tone tells him something is wrong, even when nothing is. And a dog who spends too much time trying to decode your emotional state is a dog who never fully relaxes in your presence. A guest arrives, and you want to show how friendly your dog is. You call him over, guide him toward the person, and encourage the interaction before he has had a single second to assess the situation on his own terms. What feels like socialization to you feels like a violation of his autonomy to him. Dogs need to approach new people at their own pace, reading body language, checking for safety signals, deciding for themselves whether the interaction is safe. When you override that process, you are not teaching him that strangers are safe. You are teaching him that his instincts do not matter and that you will not protect his boundaries. Over time, that lesson erodes the foundation of trust that every healthy relationship between a dog and his owner is built on. And if this is making you think about the way your dog communicates stress and discomfort in his daily life, I have a full video about the anxiety signals dogs send that most owners completely miss. It is linked on screen right now, and it will completely change the way you read your dog's behavior. Your dog is sleeping deeply, and you reach over to pet him, call his name loudly, or pick him up without warning. It seems harmless. But dogs, like humans, cycle through deep sleep stages where the brain is actively processing, consolidating memories, and regulating the nervous system. Being jolted out of that state triggers a startle response that activates the fight-or-flight system instantly. For a dog with any history of trauma or anxiety, this can be particularly destabilizing. Beyond the immediate reaction, repeated disruptions to rest tell his body that even sleep is not a safe and predictable experience. Rest is not laziness in dogs. It is biological necessity. Protecting his sleep is one of the simplest and most underestimated ways to support his emotional health. You come home and find something destroyed: a shoe, a pillow, a corner of the rug. You call his name in a sharp tone, point at the damage, and express your frustration clearly. He lowers his head, tucks his tail, and looks up at you with those guilty eyes. But he is not feeling guilt. Dogs do not have the cognitive ability to connect a consequence with an action that happened hours ago. What he is reading is your body language right now, your tension, your tone, your posture, and he is responding to the current emotional threat with appeasement signals. Punishing him in this moment does not teach him what he did wrong. It teaches him that your return is sometimes dangerous and unpredictable, and that lesson lives in his nervous system long after the moment has passed. You have 20 minutes for the walk, and you want to cover as much ground as possible. Your dog stops every few meters to sniff a patch of grass, a lamp post, a spot on the sidewalk that seems completely unremarkable to you. You pull the leash and keep moving. But what you just interrupted was not a distraction. It was the primary way your dog reads, processes, and understands the world around him. Sniffing activates the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest state, and is one of the most powerful natural stress relievers available to dogs. A dog who is allowed to sniff freely on a walk returns home more mentally satisfied and emotionally regulated than one who walked twice the distance without stopping. The goal of the walk is not mileage. It is mental and emotional restoration. None of these things make you a bad owner. They make you a human being who was never taught to see the world from your dog's perspective. And the moment you start making even small adjustments, giving him space to approach on his own terms, protecting his rest, letting him lead the sniff, softening your voice in uncertain moments, everything between you begins to shift. Because trust in a dog is not built through grand gestures. It is built through the small, consistent moments where he realizes that you actually see him, you actually hear him, and you are willing to change for him. That is what real love looks like from where he stands. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these 7 things surprised you the most? Comment below with your dog's name and the habit you are going to change starting today. If this video made you stop and reconsider something you do every day, share it with another dog owner who needs to see this. And if you are not subscribed yet, do it now. The next video will show you the things your dog does every day that are actually cries for help, and most owners smile right through them without ever realizing what they mean.